Much of the population of Myanmar and Thailand live in high-rise apartments, making the devastating 7 magnitude rumble even more deadly as clips emerge of apartment blocks being torn to the ground. A nightmare is unfolding in Southeast Asia after a strong 8.2 magnitude earthquake struck Myanmar and spread to neighboring Thailand. The Thai Meteorological Department confirmed that an 8.2 magnitude earthquake struck Myanmar on Friday afternoon, approximately 392 kilometers from Pang Ma Pha in Mae Hong Son Province. The U.S. Geological Survey and Germany's GFZ Center for Geosciences said the incident was at a shallow 6.2 miles, with an epicenter in Myanmar, according to preliminary reports. Horrifying video shared online shows people scrambling for their lives as apartment buildings cave in on themselves. Other clips showed people running from collapsing apartment blocks in terror. A devastating 8.2 magnitude earthquake has hit central Myanmar and spread to neighboring countries, including Thailand and China. Buildings have crumbled to the ground in Bangkok and roads have buckled in Myanmar's capital of Naypyidaw. Places of worship, including a mosque and a pagoda, are said to have crumpled in on themselves in Myanmar, killing an unknown number of people. A mass casualty zone has been set up at a hospital in Naypyidaw. There are rows of people writhing in pain having to be treated outside as the 1,000-bed hospital is at capacity, reports say. A damage hotspot in Bangkok is a construction site for a high-rise apartment block. Several people are feared dead or missing, with rescuers seen dragging some victims from the rubble. Responding to reports of wide-scale damage from a 7.7 magnitude earthquake reported in central and other parts of Myanmar, Amnesty International's Myanmar researcher Joe Freeman said, "This earthquake could not come at a worse time for Myanmar. More than 3 million people remain internally displaced from armed conflict that has raged since the 2021 military coup. Over a third of the population will need humanitarian assistance this year. At the same time, the impacts of U.S. aid cuts on humanitarian services in the country are just starting to bite. In a country where the military has banned many media outlets and internet access is restricted, we may not have a clear picture of the extent of damage and loss for some time. That there appear to be more images and information coming out of Thailand than the epicenter in Myanmar is a startling reminder of the military's crushing of press freedom since the 2021 coup. Central Myanmar, which is believed to be the epicenter of the earthquake, has been ravaged by military airstrikes and clashes between resistance groups and the military. Myanmar's military has a long-standing practice of denying aid to areas where groups who resist it are active. It must immediately allow unimpeded access to all humanitarian organizations and remove administrative barriers delaying needs assessments. All parties to the armed conflict should be prioritizing the needs of civilians whose lives have been upended in this disaster and ensuring that they have unfettered access to aid. Human rights must be at the center of all relief efforts, and there must be no discrimination in aid provision. Amnesty International is calling particularly for the protection of those with specific needs, including children, older people, people with disabilities, and women and girls in vulnerable situations. As aftershocks continue to roll through Myanmar, the sound of emergency vehicles can reportedly be heard throughout the city, according to the BBC. Many of the residents of Mandalay are still on the street, reports say.